When you think of Squid Game, what comes to mind? A violent Korean drama, a social commentary, a guilty pleasure. It doesn't matter what you think. For now, let's start with a simple statement. Squid Game is just a fictional show. Everyone says that. But what if it wasn't? What if beneath the iconic red jumpsuit and twisted children's games lay a darker truth? Bao, in 1983, amidst South Korea's turbulent history during military dictatorship, there existed a place shrouded in secrecy. The official name was Brothers' Home, but its true nature was a sinister secret. While authorities claimed it was a rehabilitation center for beggars, orphans, and alcoholics, the reality was a brutal maze of suffering and death. Established in 1973, Brothers' Home was run by the notorious Korean paramilitary organization. Over the next 2 decades, more than 20,000 men passed through its rusted gates. Some arrived as young as 14, lured by promises of food and work, only to find themselves trapped in a nightmare. Among the shadows of Brothers' Home, over 20,000 individuals entered, but shockingly, less than half emerged alive. Those who did return bore silent testimonies etched in their eyes, hinting at horrors too dreadful to speak. They spoke of relentless forced labor, enduring beatings every day, psychological torment. Every corner seemed to whisper of a fate worse than death. The fate of those who simply vanished. Yet amidst the darkness a glimmer of revelation surfaced. In 2005, a whistleblower known as Brother Lee surfaced exposing the chilling truth. According to him, the facility harbored a hidden secret, a basement absent from any official blueprints. This subterranean layer remained concealed, accessible only via a creaky wooden staircase concealed by a bookshelf. In this clandestine chamber lay the key to understanding the grim tales of disappearance. Here, as revealed by Brother Lee, prisoners deemed disposable were subjected to a series of physical trials. A macabre game orchestrated by the guards. These challenges tested not only endurance, but also human resilience. Adding another layer to this dark narrative, survivors recounted a chilling detail. Survivors of the facility alluded to a peculiar twist in these games. The participants were often blindfolded and disoriented, deprived of any sense of time, adding to the sinister ambience. The games were played against eerie silence, broken only by the heavy breathing of the contestant. And then there was the ominous presence of unseen observers, hidden behind black glass panels. Shadowy figures watched intently, their faces obscured, their motives unclear. The rules of these games were simple, unforgiving. Failure meant elimination, and elimination at Brothers' Home had a chilling finality. One former inmate, codenamed Jay, revealed the horrifying detail. Described a chilling challenge involving live electrical wire. The survivor recalled another harrowing task that required contestants to navigate a labyrinth of buckets and cables. He remembered being suspended in a darkened room, the only illumination coming from a television displaying the menacing circle, triangle, and square symbols. he recalled another chilling detail. One survivor noted that before each round, a stern voice echoed through the room, announcing, "Welcome to the game." And when someone was eliminated, the same voice would proclaim, "Player eliminated." All of this was meticulously recorded, becoming a haunting testament to the brutality that unfolded within the hidden basement of Brothers' home. These disturbing revelations paint a grim picture of the horrors that took place within the confines of Brothers' home. The games were not merely tests of physical strength or mental acuity. They were sadistic spectacles designed to break the human spirit. The Brothers' home may have officially been a shelter for those down on their luck, but the truth was far more sinister. The inmates were reduced to nameless numbers, bad, their humanity stripped away as they were forced to participate in these deadly games. The unseen observers became a symbol of malevolent voyeurism, deriving pleasure from the suffering they secretly witnessed. But the unsettling part is that these horrors weren't merely figments of imagination. The existence of the Brothers' home speaks to a dark reality that once gripped South Korea. Under the oppressive regime, human rights were trampled upon and unspeakable acts were committed. The secretive nature of the games mirrors the clandestine operations of the regime, where truth was buried and justice was elusive. Then in 2012, a pivotal discovery shook the foundations of this buried past. A damaged hard drive, believed to be lost forever, resurfaced in a junkyard near Busan. Its contents sent shockwaves through the small community of survivors and investigators alike. Within the corrupted video files, fragmented images emerged. Men clad in numbered jumpsuits could be seen walking through dark corridors. They stumbled and fell, their movements erratic, as if struggling to navigate an unfamiliar terrain. In other videos, they found themselves at the edge of deep pits, their faces pale with fear, their bodies frozen in midair. Then suddenly they vanished from sight, disappearing into the abyss. These chilling glimpses were not mere documentation of games. They were fragments of lives extinguished, of hopes dashed against the cold indifference of the regime. As the investigators delved deeper, they uncovered the dates on the recovered files. They were dated from 1985, 1986, and 1987. Precisely the years when Brothers' home was at the height of its sinister operations. However, despite this concrete evidence, the investigation seemed to reach a standstill. The recovered footage was deemed lacking context, a sentiment echoed by many officials. And so the case was quietly buried, swept under the rug, as if such atrocities had no place in their tidy narrative of history. The true horror lay not in the games themselves, but in the calculated erasure of their memory. Yet, this chilling tale took a bizarre twist when the global phenomenon of Squid Game gripped the world amidst the excitement and controversy surrounding the series. An anonymous user dared to challenge the popular narrative. They posted a cryptic message in an online forum suggesting that Squid Game was not mere entertainment. Instead, it was a veiled warning. an allusion to the very real horrors that unfolded at Brothers' home. This unexpected connection reverberated through the online community, igniting a wildfire of theories and debates. As news outlets picked up the story, the post circulated like wildfire, reaching millions of viewers. But just as quickly, it was erased from the digital landscape. Within hours, it was taken down, vanishing as abruptly as it had appeared. Conspiracy theorists went into overdrive, convinced that the series' creators were intentionally shrouding the truth. Was Squid Game a deliberate attempt to divert attention from the real horrors that plagued Brothers' home? Did the dramatic games and masked guards serve as a distorted reflection of the past? The anonymity of the original poster added another layer of intrigue. Who was this individual daring to challenge the status quo? Were they a whistleblower seeking to expose the past, or a curious observer recognizing a disturbing parallel? The similarities between the show and the home are striking. Both feature dehumanized players clad in matching jumpsuits, subjected to a series of deadly challenges. The masked guards and the regimented atmosphere of both settings evoke a chilling sense of dread. Moreover, the promise of a substantial cash reward for survival serves as a disturbing parallel to the financial incentives offered to participants of the illicit games at Brothers' home. Some even drew parallels between the enigmatic observe in the games and the shadowy elite who profited from the suffering of others. Perhaps most disturbing is the use of shapes and symbols, which are said to mirror the actual classification codes employed at Brothers' home. This unsettling connection raises profound questions. Could there be a sinister link between the fictional realm of Squid Game and the dark realities of South Korea's past? Is the series nothing more than a modern reimagining of the horrors that transpired within the walls of Brothers' home? The show's creator, Hwang Dong-hyuk, has a background in journalism. Could his personal and professional journey have led him to confront these traumatic events head-on? Is Squid Game his way of giving voice to the voiceless, bringing the buried memories of Brothers' home to the surface? Or is there a more sinister motive at play? Some believe that the series was deliberately crafted to overshadow and bury the real footage of the games at Brothers' home. Could the gruesome scenes in Squid Game serve as a smokescreen diverting attention from the authentic horrors of the past? The unsettling thought is that the games never truly ended. They went underground, continuing in secret even today. Discovery of the damaged hard drive and the subsequent cover-up point towards a disturbing conclusion. The authorities knew about the games, yet they chose to ignore the evidence. Could it be that the same forces that orchestrated the atrocities at Brothers' home are still in control? Are they perpetuating the cycle of abuse, ensuring that the truth remains hidden from the public eye? Pupi. If the unearthed footage is anything to go by, the games continue in forgotten warehouses and underground tunnels. B. The players fight for survival in the shadows, their fates hanging in the balance. The echoes of the robotic voice resonate. Player eliminated. Pass. As we ponder these chilling possibilities, we must confront the uncomfortable truth. Piece to read as a way of repeating itself. The horrors of the past are never truly gone. They linger, waiting for a catalyst to bring them back to the surface. Squid Game may be a fictional creation, but its popularity has unveiled a deeper societal unease. We are fascinated by the darker aspects of human nature, perhaps because they serve as a reminder of the fragility of our own humanity. The games continue in forgotten corners of the world, hidden from the prying eyes of the media and the public. The truth may be buried, but it never truly fades away. If you ever find yourself alone in a dimly lit room, listening to distant whispers, remember the chilling words: player eliminated. In the darkest recesses of our minds, the games never truly end. So watch what you wish, my friend, because sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and leave a comment. Your support means everything to us. Until next time, stay curious.